What is that? Various quarters. What the hell do they have to do with it? All the priests have to be subject to the bishops to the cardinals to the to the Vatican. Whereas the already leaders rank and file will all have developed their own understanding. The rank and file devotees all have developed their own understanding in this matter. In the meanwhile, due to the lack of correct understanding put in place by the GBC body. So when you say develop their own understanding, you're opening the door to a Protestant interpretation of ISKCON, meaning the rank and file determine what is the truth, not Guru Shastra Sadhu. Well, it's not clear if there's any common core understanding within the movement and what it is, even basic terminologies, etc., that we may be assuming to be a part of common understanding of all devotees.
Yeah, it's dangerous, very, very dangerous to even think that Prabhupada was not clear.
In the next line, the Kura Diksha Guru system and the wall of Diksha Guru. Now, what this common core comprises of, with respect to even basic terminologies and concepts, that means they're standing there with their pants around their ankles. Where are they? Where is their Siddhanta? Siddhanta means absolute truth conclusion. Yeah, then they say the Bureau wants to commence the study with Bureau members and other leaders in India. Now, who are the Bureau members? Do we know that yet? Rupa, do you know that?
She said it's the Indian temple presidents.
No, he said the Bureau, not the ICC.
I think the Bureau is the ICC.
Why? Or they haven't said so yet.
Yeah, we'll find out, but we,
well, let's just make a note.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me do a search on Google and see if I can figure it out.
Yeah. Okay.
It has to be GBC, ICC Bureau or something. The Bureau hereby takes cognizance of the GBC's resolution, but that starts from. Isn't the Bureau described? I redacted it from this copy, but isn't those three people the Bureau? Banu and the other two?
They're part of that. Maybe they're. Yeah.
Are they part of it? Or in other words, is the Bureau the ICC, or is the Bureau a group analyzing the situation, including the ICC? So the Bureau, so we don't know. And the fact that we don't know by reading their paper is disgusting.
We'll find out, once Bashu replies. If he replies.
Because it says in B, it says, whereas the Bureau had expressed its strong opposition to this imposition and the resolution adopted during November 2019, then on C, whereas more recently, the Indian Continental Committee has, by an overwhelming majority, has also expressed their disapproval. Also means in addition to the Bureau. So it couldn't be the same people. Anyhow, that's all I have to say right now. But I just wanted to point out that it's leaning towards Protestant idea that the congregation and the local temple presidents or gurus or whatever of that area determine what Krishna consciousness is, and they establish their own standards for their own reasons.
Yeah.
Which is obviously not bona fide.
Okay, let's see.
Well, basically everything they're doing is not bona fide. Unless you want to embrace Hinduism, in which case Anything you do is bona fide.
Okay, you guys, I'm at a website called ISKCON.com, and it's the website for the ICC, and it has links to temple presidents, links to ICC, links to sannyasis, link to zonal secretaries, link to bureau members, and a link to the GBC.
Yeah, there are linked to bureau members. So we don't know who the... Huh?
And a link to the GBC. So maybe the ICC is all of them. I mean, I'm not sure what.
No, it's an independent organization with links to all of them. From what you just read.
Yeah.
So that we need Bhasha Ghosh. But we need, what we're doing right now is preparing ourselves to talk with Bhasha Ghosh. So Ramachandra, take over. What do you want to do?
What website is it, Rupa, again? Can you tell me so I can load it up on the screen so we can see? Just kind of browse it.
ISKCONICC.com.
Okay, ISKCON.com. Okay. Can you window? ISKCON ICC. All right. Temples in India. GBC, Bureau members. Let's see. Don't have anything here.
You didn't find the website?
Yeah, I clicked on ICC and bureau members. Let's see, ICC.
Yeah, the website seems like it's not very full of information.
Oh, it tells us who's the players are.
Okay. ICC chairman name Sahadev Das Ashram Brahmachari Mobile. ICC vice president Krishna Das, spiritual master Jay Pataka Swami Maharaj Ashram Grihasta. Secretary name Keshav Murari Das, spiritual master Gopal Krishna. Okay.
They're members of the ICC.
Yeah. It's not really clear what the hell is this website. It doesn't give any. When we go to bureau members, it doesn't load anything.
I know.
Well,
maybe they haven't put a lot of time into it.
Or put it another way, they put their time into it on the phone and texting, but not in writing.
Right. Okay, let's see.
I can't imagine that Gopal Krishna wouldn't have a complete, solid understanding of what he's dealing with.
Service authorities. What is this ICC? Well, it doesn't have any articles or anything about us. Okay, let's go to about us. Let's see, what is this? Well, this we already know. There's the GBC, there's the Bureau, there's the IAC and the ICC. Let's see, what is this? Okay. This website doesn't have so. It's gone. Let's see what they have. ICC. It seems like it's mostly the younger generation people are. Who's this
Or
fellow?
what?
Are the
What do you
ICC members. We don't see any big shots in here.
Well, Gopal Krishna is,
Hey, Gopal Krishna is not here.
but he's a member.
Yeah.
No,
So is Jai Pataka is a member.
no, they're the ICC members are their disciples. Okay.
Well, including them, no.
Yeah, I think they're included.
Okay. Okay, anyways, we can tell Basha Ghosted, we looked at your website and it wasn't very informative, so we need clear answers.
No, we don't say that. We ask him questions. We don't say that the papers he's working with are not informative. That's critical.
All right, yeah, we don't want to criticize, right?
No, why should we? We know what is the right thing. You have to go back to the beginning, recreate ISKCON as an absolute doctrine for 10,000 years. And then live by it. And then supposing the gurus say, we don't want to be part of it, I'm going to leave and take my disciples. Okay, but understand you're no longer a part of ISKCON. Go ahead. Go and take your disciples. You're no longer part of ISKCON. Or they could say, I'm willing to be a Ritvik, if you're following Madhu Pandit. Which a lot of them are doing anyhow.
Yeah, because with meetings going on with them, it might be that they're trying to make a compromise. I don't know. We'll find out. It's just.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point.
And I also think that if more of this top leadership, if many of them die, then slowly, rest of the others will become Ritviks. Because there are only just one or two strict, like guru system, like strict people in the top leadership who are very much against Ritvik. Rest all are like
Well,
slowly inclining.
They, being in the top, you see, they are aware of the problems. We are not aware of the problems because all we do is see pictures of people in sannyas outfits hopping around, waggling their dundas and stuff like that. But they know what the problems are. We have no way of knowing. But because of the nature of things, that they're trying to make a material thing into a spiritual thing, then we can understand without question there are problems. We just don't know what they all are specifically. The big problem is that they are not accepting Prabhupada as the Sampradaya Acharya and that they don't need gurus.
Yeah, so there are only just maybe 4 or 5 of the top leadership who are very much adamant in remaining in the position of guru. Like
Yes.
when they die, slowly, they will come back to
Well,
respect.
what Hansaduta did after he initiated 15,000 people, devotees, and he wrote a document naming each and every one of them and told them, was unqualified to accept you as taking a role of Diksha Guru. I now tell you that you are all the disciples of Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya.
Most of them were not very happy with that. They wanted a living guru that they could work with and relate to and exploit and be exploited by. You know?
Right.
Why would someone want to be exploited by a living guru? I mean, it doesn't.
You want to be exploited in exchange for giving your sins to that person.
Oh,
No free lunch.
yeah.
You see what I mean?
No free lunch. Go ahead.
Prabhu, I have a question.
It's not that you have a guru and you treat him as though you're his. Why would anyone let somebody else treat them like their slave?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, but it makes sense if you considered that they want something in exchange that is more valuable than the slavery that they're accepting themselves in.
Yeah.
So you have to understand, what is that slavery? Everybody wants salvation. Everybody wants to go back to Godhead. So what we're doing is systematically clarifying that you're going to go back to Godhead if you heard the Hare Krishna mantra. That is the specifics of Lord Chaitanya breaking open the storehouse of love of God. That's it. I wish we could find that lecture, Prabhupada. It is beyond amazing. Not written, but verbal. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. Very visual.
Vinayak Sharma was going to say something.
Oh yeah, Nayak Sharma, what do you want to say?
Maybe Prabhu, you can continue because I was saying something different from the topic which we are discussing right now.
You can ask. Go ahead. Why not? Now's the time, Prabhu. That's fine.
Okay, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, right now there is a situation that I'm going to speak in front of a at an event where I want to introduce this mantra yoga, Hare Krishna chanting, these things. But the organizers, they don't want me to bring in religion kind of thing. So can you suggest some ways how to introduce chanting, mantra yoga, kirtan in a way that it does not sound like religious?
In Japan?
Yeah.
Well, I have pointed out, you approach it as algorithms. Approach it, the mantra, as higher mass.
Yeah, but audience are not very much like technical, so they are normal people.
What normal what? What is a normal person?
Like normal person,
I've never met one. You have, apparently. I haven't met it.
like non-technical people. So,
Well, why would they want to come to the lecture to begin with? What is their motive in coming?
they think that like we are going to teach them some kind of meditation which would make them like healing, peaceful, and what the similar
Tell them
concept.
that's what you're doing. Tell them that's what you're doing. Hare Krishna mantra heals the damaged consciousness of the jiva. That's more better healing than simply giving a nice massage.
And like, is it okay like if I also introduce some books, like if you want to know more about this, then purchase these books?
Sure.
Like maybe if I put the books in front of.
Well, you know, there's a one book that Prabhupada wrote called The Topmost Yoga System.
No, I don't have that one. Like I have some Bhagavad Gita's, Krishna books, and Updeshamrita, and one more Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. These books I am having. So I am thinking to display them so that they can purchase, but that might like organizers might not like that I am putting some religious stuff over there for people to purchase.
Well, yoga is by its own nature essentially religious.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no yoga that exists without a philosophy linking it to God.
Yeah, but I am planning to to do these kind of engagements more so that after 2 or 3 meetings I can introduce Krishna consciousness properly.
Well, if I were, my suggestion is get them to chant and take prasadam. Those two things, chanting. When Prabhupada started out, there were no books.
Mhm.
He didn't use books. Chanting and prasadam. And the chanting, the chanting, the dancing and chanting. Remember, chanting means Prabhupada's melodies. Is that the only ones you use? Is Prabhupada's melodies?
No, like I will use them. Like I can use them. Like
Don't use any melody. If you want my help, don't use any melody except Prabhupada.
yeah. I will.
That is, his melodies are pure yoga.
Mm.
And dance step, the Swami step, you know, you
Mhm.
alternate your legs by dancing. You can see pictures of people doing it.
Mhm.
That is yoga. What is it? It deals with, yoga deals with your chakras, correct?
Mhm.
So the Mridanga beat deals with the core chakra, with what in Japan is called the what is it called in Japan? I'm trying to remember. It's in part of Bushido.
Hara?
Hara, yeah, hara.
Hara.
It's hara, like two equal hara. When you say hara, and you feel your stomach move when you say it, right? Ha, ra, hara. You can see it goes up and around, isolating the stomach chakra. Thank you, Rupa. Hara. So that hara is the stomach. So that hara is triggered by the mridanga. Okay, but it has to be played properly, not bang bang bang, but talo tadakade tijate tini tini ta. You have to play it according to Prabhupada, and you can find out how he played it because he made a tape. He made a tape which is now available online, of course.
I can play that.
How to play mridanga.
Yeah. I can play
So the
that.
mridanga and the rhythm of the kartals is essential because that deals with the heart chakra.
Hmm.
When you do the kartals properly, the heart chakra is essentially, it's described in the third canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam that the heart is bound up with cords. By the mantra and the kartals, the cords around the heart are cut and opened. That's why it's not just a stylistic thing of chanting. Prabhupada's dancing, chanting, melodies, mridanga, kartals is yoga.
Understood.
Pure yoga. In the temples, they have done it as anti-yoga because they want to make it a control thing. I am chanting, I am this, I am doing this. And they get some benefit from uttering the holy name of Krishna, but it's so tangled up that it's not the main thing. Any neophyte learning it right without being exposed to the wrong way will be able to out-kirtan the most experienced kirtan leader anywhere in ISKCON. Because they're all running around all over the place trying to sensationalize what they're doing rather than practicing the yoga. Bhakti yoga is yoga. And the practical part of it is, if you want an asana, you don't sit on your asana, you dance in your asana. You see?
Yeah. And
With the
Prabhu,
arms in the air, moving back and forth. It's not just a style. It is an asana.
and Prabhu,
Right.
how about using these other musical instruments like harmonium?
So I would say, before doing any class, get tapes of Prabhupada leading kirtans and look at it as bhakti yoga. See where the yoga part comes in. Yoga is the austerity part of the action, right? Yoga means if you stand on your head or you're in a meditation, holding yourself, breathing in and out in a certain way. And what is kirtan? It's yoga, breath control. Bhakti yoga, breath control. You can present the whole thing as bhakti yoga. But first you have to learn it yourself because you have not been taught by anybody that's competent. But there is one person who is 100% competent, and you can start immediately, and that's Prabhupada online.
Jai.
But don't look at him as, oh, there's Prabhupada or Santa Claus or whatever people think he is. No, look at it. This is our acharya, meaning the setting by the transcendental example of how to perform bhakti yoga. If people say they want to do it a different way, they say, that's wonderful. I bless you. Do it a different way somewhere else. You do it here. You do bhakti yoga according to the yoga master, His Divine Grace. Have I said anything that didn't include the word yoga so far?
No, Prabhu.
So that's what it is. It's not that we're trying to make them into ISKCON is not a religion. Krishna consciousness is not, chanting Hare Krishna is not a religious act. It's yoga. Well, the purpose of yoga is to realize God. Chant Hare Krishna, that is realizing God. So you get the conclusion of the yoga practice without having to wait 50,000 years standing on your head. Anyhow, that's a hint, okay? You're free to call me anytime you like, or you're free to do your own research. But what I've told you is the absolute truth without any deviation whatsoever. So because I've told you that, I don't know anything about truth, but I'm telling you what I've learned from Prabhupada. And if you do that, you will be able to teach yoga. Just call it bhakti yoga. Bhakti means love of God. Yoga is the process of connecting with God. So bhakti yoga, you can teach that. And then when it comes to books, you don't really need books to begin with. Prabhupada didn't have books for over a year when he started the movement. The only books that he had were the ones he brought from India, the 3 volumes of the Srimad Bhagavatam. You know?
Yeah. And
aside from that, he didn't have any books. So if a person says, if I'm doing yoga, what am I trying to do? Find Satori? Am I trying to come to the edge of consciousness? Am I trying to say being and not being, the understanding of being and not being? No, you can say Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, yoga means to connect with Krishna in his forms of Vishnu. 4 types of Vishnu, Balaram, and Krishna is your connection, yogic connection. Then, in the yogically perfect state, you can do whatever you please. you dance, you run, you chase cows or whatever. That's all perfected yoga. That's what yoga is for when you get to the top of it. Okay? So you have enough, if you paid good attention what I was saying, Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhu, like
Hello?
Hare Krishna. One thing more I wanted to ask about.
It would be good if you took notes to remember. But anyhow, find Prabhupada's example of Mridanga, Kartals, and that is the way yoga is achieved in Krishna consciousness, not the way it is in ISKCON temples. So go ahead. Next question.
Yes, Prabhu, like I can play that. And next is like, can you suggest some ways like how can I make it more interactive for the people? Like, if people want, like, I want to conduct some activities so that people there can be like groups of two people, and they can do some kind of interaction with each other related to the event, like so that they feel like something kind of community
You
building.
say,
Feel any-
we say to Hare, we always say Hare Krishna, and we
Hmm.
call each other Prabhu.
Hmm.
Prabhu is like an initiated thing to do. Like initiation is there in the word Prabhu, because you're calling someone who's a jiva, just like you, master. Why? Because all parts of Krishna are your master, because Krishna is your master. So when you call someone Prabhu, you are acknowledging that they are part and parcel of Krishna.
Sasi Kumar has his hand up.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh,
Sasi Kumar Prabhu.
did we complete? I don't need to do all the talking. Ramachandra should be doing, or Rupa Manchari, particularly. She knows more than I do.
Go ahead, Sasi Kumar Prabhu. You want to, your hand is raised, so go ahead. Sasi Kumar.
Hare Krishna,
Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Narayan Prabhu. Happy Vaikuntha Ekadashi
Haribol.
to everyone. Prabhu, I have two doubts. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 17th chapter, there at one verse it is said that Hiranyaksha was firstborn. In the next verse, it is said that Hiranyakashipu is the first brother, elder brother. I didn't understand it.
I can't understand what you're saying, unfortunately. Can someone, Rupa, can you translate? for
I
me?
can't understand either.
Okay, Ramachandra.
So he's asking a question about Hiranyakashipu. So let me load the verse. Prabhu, can you text the verse? What is it? What canto? What chapter?
Third canto, chapter 17.
3:17. Okay, hold on. 3:17.
I thought that Hiranyakashipu was way later in the Srimad Bhagavatam.
3:17. What else?
18.
3:17, 18. Okay. Okay, let me share the screen. Okay. Okay. So the translation goes, Kashyapa Prajapati, the creator of the living entities, gave his twin sons their names. The one who was the firstborn he named Hiranyakashipu, and the one
Hiranyaksha.
Hiranyaksha, sorry, yeah, Hiranyaksha, and the one who was first conceived by Diti, he named Hiranyakashipu.
And the next verse.
You want to go next verse?
Yes.
The elder child, Hiranyakashipu, was unafraid of death from anyone within the three worlds because he received a benediction from Lord Brahma. He was proud and puffed up due to his benediction and was able to bring all the three planetary systems under his control.
Yeah, here you see the elder child Hiranyakashipu. It is said like that.
Okay, the elder child Hiranyakashipu. So your
He go
question
to
is,
the
it's saying here it's Hiranyaksha was the first,
Firstborn.
firstborn. So what's the question? You're saying why is Hiranyaksha the firstborn and Hiranyakashipu older?
yeah.
That's a good question. What does it seem like, Prabhu?
Well, first of all, they were twins.
Twins. Oh yeah. Yes, I forgot that.
Okay, so consider the way the uterus is existing in the female demigoddess. When the first semen strikes and hits an egg, that will be the one that is first conceived in the womb. But that doesn't mean that when twins are in the womb, then the second one, that semen, hits a different egg later, afterwards, okay? It could be 2 minutes afterwards, but it's afterwards, okay? Could be a week afterwards, but whatever it is, it's afterwards. So the one that was conceived second was born first.
Oh yeah, that's what the purport is saying. Narayan Prabhu, what you're saying.
Yes.
Well,
Purport
it's
is
sort of
similar.
obvious, right?
No, it's not obvious, but you're saying it. You're reading the purport and
Well, I was raised on a farm, so I know all about conception. I have a
okay.
lot of goats,
Okay, so
and they
there
were
you go.
conceiving all over the place.
Go ahead, Prabhu. Sorry, I cut you off. Yeah,
Go
that's
for it.
It is Nara.
so you just explained it.
Yeah. So it's an interesting thing because you don't normally think along those lines. Who was conceived first? Because basically, I don't think the Western medical system has any way of calculating who was conceived first. Actually, it is possible because I even encountered at close range twins, and one was conceived significantly before the other, but they were both in the same womb. They didn't live to be born, but it was obvious that one was at least weeks older than the other.
Okay. Let's see if we have any questions from our online audience. 1 second.
Prabhu, what is Shantarasa? Explain it, please.
Sasi Kumar asked, what is Santa Rasa?
Shanta? That's neutral. Shanta means peace. Shanti. So what are the other two?
What, Prabhu?
The Shanta Rasa is one of three. What are the other two?
One of 5. There are 5 rasas. Madhurya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, Sakya rasa, and one more. What is there? Wow.
Dasya.
Shanta rasa. Dasya rasa. Yes. How devotees love the God in Shanta rasa? Neutral means do they love or not, or just do they devote?
These
Shantarasa.
things you,
Huh.
yeah.
Go ahead, Narayana. These things.
Oh, I was only going to say you can easily look these things up with a database
Yeah.
or some. So it's not that it's a big question for someone has to answer.
Yeah. Exactly. I just looked it up. So Shantarasa is coming up at Srimad Bhagavatam 3 times, in Chaitanya Charitamrita 34 times, in Srila Prabhupada's other books 20 times, in lectures 21 times, in conversations 14 times, and letters 5 times. So all these can be looked up very easily. So here Prabhupada says, one should therefore glorify the Lord in adoration of Shantarasa, or revive his eternal relationship with Vishnu as a servant in Dasya Rasa, a friend in Sakya Rasa, a parent in Vatsalya Rasa, or a conjugal lover in Madhurya Rasa. So all this is talked about in Prabhupada's books.
Oh yeah, Shantarasa, yeah. That's a blade of grass or a stone or a pebble or a drop of water in Vaikuntha.
Mm. Yes.
Shantarasa means neutral. Dasa means your servant. So you do something to serve Krishna. Vatsalya Rasa is you're playing with coward boys. And Madhurya Rasa means you're gopis dancing with Krishna.
Try.
Is there any example of a devotee of Shantarasa in the Bhagavatam or anywhere?
Shantarasa, okay. That's a good question. Who's in Shantarasa? Okay, let's see.
Prithu Maharaj. Mm,
Ritu Maharaj.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And in Nectar of Devotion, there is a full chapter dedicated to this. So in that chapter, many of the devotees are explained with different rasas.
Well, if you're talking about the actual rasa, then you're talking about Uttama Adhikaris who are already situated in Krishna Loka. It's not an earthly experience. Although a person in that rasa could manifest as the gopis manifested with Lord Chaitanya, Rupa Goswami and Jiva Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they all were in rasas with Krishna, but they manifested in different roles with Lord Chaitanya.
So here Srila Prabhupada saying in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 8, verse 19, the land, water, cows, trees, and flowers serve Krishna in Shanta Rasa. You get it, Prabhu? The land, water, cows, trees, and flowers serve Krishna in the Shanta Rasa. His servants.
Yes, Prabhu. Hi.
You got it? Okay.
That means passive.
Yes. His servants serve him in Dasya Rasa, and his cowherd friends serve him in Sakya Rasa. Similarly, the elder gopis and gopas serve Krishna as father and mother, uncle and relatives, and the young gopis, the cowherd girls, serve Krishna in the conjugal love. Okay. So all these things can be researched in this Bhaktivedanta database, Prabhupada's compendium. Yeah. So
In other words, you don't need to ask a question like that here unless you want to. And if you do, that's welcome. But you just understand it. You can, in a flick of your computer key, you can find it easily.
right, yes. Okay. Let's see if there's any questions online. Is Mahaprabhu online or no? I guess.
Yes.
He's
So
probably
Prabhu,
still driving.
Okay.
He's
He's
probably
here.
still driving.
Yes. Okay.
So regarding the same thing, like I was asking that because once I had a had a discussion with it, like with this Gaudiya Matha person who was saying something, and I did not accepted his philosophy. Like in Nectar of Devotion, there is one thing explained that a devotee must start the worshipping of Lord Krishna in Shanta Rasa, and then slowly, gradually, he should raise himself from Sankhya to Dasya to Sakya to Vatsalya and Madhurya, like this. So some people say that it's not the thing, like you just hear the stories, and while hearing you will get a revelation of your rasa or your sarup siddhi. And some say that if you want to serve Krishna in Madhurya Rasa, then just start hearing about Ras Leela and his relationship with gopis, then you will develop that particular rasa, and slowly, slowly you will understand that Krishna's service in Madhurya Leela. So I wanted to ask this, like, how does it happens in actual, like, should everyone start with Shantarasa and then gradually rise themselves up?
No, that's not how it works. Shanta Rasa is an end result, not a beginning result.
Yeah, same.
It goes according to your eternal relationship with Krishna. But if a person wants to quickly go to Krishna Loka without developing a relationship with Krishna, he's certainly not going to get into any rasa except Shanta Rasa. Now, supposing somebody likes to say, I'm going to chant 64 rounds and I'm going to go to Krishna Loka and I don't care about anything. Don't you want to develop a relationship with Krishna? No, I'll do that when I get to Krishna Loka. I just want to get to Krishna Loka. I want to get out of this horrible world. So he can become Shanta Rasa. He can become a pebble in the beach of the Jumuna River.
So after that, it's a possibility of elevating into another rasas.
Yeah, I would say anybody looking for mukti is going to end up with Shanta Rasa at the most.
Mm. So, like in a spiritual world, it is possibility like dasya, like a Shantrasa jiva can get into servitorship or dasya.
That you have to cultivate. If you are when you come to the Madhyamadikari platform, you need to know, or you'll have a propensity for your desired relationship with Krishna. And as you develop it, that's the relationship you'll have in Krishna Loka. It's not something that you work your way up the scale like joining a corporation and becoming the vice president when you get to the top of the company. It's not like that. Your rasa with Krishna is eternal.
Mm.
So you should move towards what is your eternal rasa, and that can be done through the practice of bhakti yoga.
Mm. So, like, is it that practically everybody in Gaudiya line is like wants to serve Krishna as gopis?
Well, that's their lust. They want to serve Krishna as gopis. That means they want sex. They're sublimating their sex desire, which means they're not going to get it. They're not going to get there.
And like that, for example, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended that the way of worship of gopis is the highest form of worship, so we must try to achieve that. So,
Yes, yes, because everyone in Krishna Loka worships the gopis, but not everyone is dancing with the gopis.
But they
Basically, people want to have a higher level lust satisfaction than they can get with a flesh and blood human being on planet Earth. And that is bogus.
No, if they aspire for dancing with Krishna instead of dancing with gopis.
Whatever. They don't have to dance with Krishna at all. They could become cowherd boys and chase cows with Krishna.
Hmm. Understood.
They could become females and give milk to Krishna, like Mother Yasoda.
Hmm.
Remember, everything in our material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. So why does a man want a woman? Because he wants to be Krishna, and he wants the woman to be a gopi. And if he falls in love and she falls in love, she thinks, oh, this is the most perfect male I've ever met. He's so perfect. Who's perfect except Krishna? And then the guy says, oh, this woman is so desirable, ignoring that she's made of pus, blood, stool, and urine. But the body, he said, oh, this woman is so desirable. And he is trying to be Krishna and enjoy a gopi. So that all has to be abandoned. That's why Prabhupada said, that's why Prabhupada wrote the Krishna book, so that we could understand all of Krishna's pastimes up to the 10th canto without being caught up in the lust-provoking passages that describe how the gopis and Krishna relate erotically. And it's there. And the writings of Rupa and Jiva Goswami is there, because they are gopis in the spiritual sky. They know all about erotic pastimes with Krishna. But if people want to imitate it, they're just going to go to a lower planet, not even a heavenly planet, because they're just envious of Krishna. Do you remember, if you have to give up the material ego to become a devotee at all, that's why the sannyasi carries a stick and all of his possessions in a little bag that he carries with him. Why? Because otherwise he will want to be the proprietor of something. So if a man is a sannyasi, he has to give up the proprietor of everything, including a female consort. So he gives up the female consort, and then he can be renounced. But if people try to become devotees so that they will find the female consort in Krishna Loka, then they'll have a very nasty experience lined up for them when they find out that they are not Krishna at all, but that they are maybe a stick or a stone or a twig or a cow in Krishna Loka.
Yeah, they get shocked. I'm not so.
Well, put it this way, like everybody in existence, everyone who's in the material world enjoying and suffering is literally getting what he deserves materially. And that's being engineered and managed by Paramatma.
Yeah.
Mahaprabhu's driving and is down to 5%. I may be cut off soon. Just giving you a heads up.
Sure. Mahaprabhu is in the house.
Why don't you plug
If
your
I can get
phone
home
into your
before
car?
10, I tried, but it's not working. I'm driving my daughter's car. At any rate, continue your conversation. I'll hook up later.
Jai.
Okay. It's good to hear your voice. It was good to see you at Costco. Haribol.
Haribol.
Jai Mahaprabhu.
So we've gone quite a bit astray in a sense. I mean, we're talking about things that you can easily read in Krishna book. Do we want to get back to any of that other material?
Other material. Let's see here.
How about that response that you and I worked on? Do we want to go through that at all?
Well, no, I don't want to go through that one because I want to dedicate one full session to that. because and title it properly. So
Okay.
it'll be. Remember, it took us. Well, we can read it. I guess we can read it, huh? We have about 30 minutes, but to discuss it, it's going to take longer if the devotees want to
Okay,
discuss.
why don't we read it and then read it and discuss it next time?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Read it. Sure. So go for it. We're at a very key moment, and it's getting more complicated by Madhu Pandit being introduced to the mix. And we need to remember that maybe Vasu Ghosh is nervous about my participation, but Madhu Pandit will not be because he knows me heart to heart. You know what's happening?
I'm just trying to find the document. 1 second. All right. Where is it? Open. Okay. Share screen. Here
We don't
go.
know how public this document is that they wrote, but I can assume that it's meant at one point or another for distribution. Therefore,
yeah.
I hope we're not breaking a breach of confidence by reading it.
No, this was posted by Vasu Ghosh or someone through his channel, so nothing is confidential.
Okay.
Okay. Proposal on the present Diksha Guru system and the female Diksha Guru resolution. A. The Bureau hereby takes cognizance of the GBC's resolution of December 2021 authorizing female Diksha Gurus in ISKCON. B. Whereas the Bureau had expressed its strong opposition to this imposition in its resolution adopted during November 2019.
So that's
we are
2 years before.
Yes. So then we asked two questions. What is the basis for authorizing female Diksha Gurus? What is the basis for the opposition to authorizing female Diksha Gurus?
May I make a quick comment?
Sure. Yes,
on
Prabhu.
that?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
the quick comment is that the opposition, if they can have male Diksha Gurus drawn from the congregation of the Kinista Adhikaris, then they cannot object to the female Diksha Gurus because they get the same Gayatri mantra as the men. The only difference is the sacred thread.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're going to have male Diksha Gurus, you really can't, there's no basis for not having female Diksha Gurus from that point of view, because Prabhupada bent the rules by giving Gayatri Mantra to women.
Try.
So my position is, if you don't want female Diksha Gurus and you're questioning male Diksha Gurus, get rid of all the Gurus and just have Prabhupada and his books until you can figure out what you're going to do next. That's a simple solution. Oh,
right.
No more Gurus, just have Prabhupada, and if you have a question, consult his Vani, particularly his books. And when you've consulted, if you don't understand it, read it again. That's what Prabhupada said to do.
Yeah, that's a very simple resolution. Like, have no gurus but Srila Prabhupada, and you won't have all these problems.
Yeah, until you can figure out how to do it. So
Yeah.
if you're going to suspend the gurus, male and female gurus, great, suspend them. And then what are you going to do for gurus? Go to the founder Acharya, Prabhupada, the Sampradaya Acharya, the actual Uttamadhikari, study his stuff until you can figure out how to get your guru thing going. If you still want to, after you've tried doing the perfect thing of accepting Prabhupada directly.
Okay, so I'd like since you mentioned that point, I'd like to take this to a video that I posted the other day. I'll share it on the screen, and we'll have a good laugh. It's one guru talking about this particular issue. So
let's go for it.
Where is it? One second.
Could you use better equipment for doing what you're doing right now?
Who, me?
Yeah. Remember, I sent you that information about radio stations or something of that sort, cheap, under $1,000.
I'm not sure. I'll have to see an example.
Well, I showed it to you, remember?
I don't remember, but I remember you sending something like that.
Okay, well, anyhow.
Okay.
We have to see how we can upgrade so that you could just go click, click, and not have to say a word.
Where is it?
It would be nice if all of our papers and everything we're going to quote would be logged on. So all you have to do is select it and it'll automatically come up.
Okay, I have the video here. 1 second.
Great.
Where is it?
Things like that.
Our position has to be that we are neither accept nor reject the ISKCON gurus. They are what they are. They do what they do. It's not up to us. We are working for the system, and we say the system is the way Prabhupada set it up, which was obviously you have to be an Uttamaddhikari to be the guru. That's what we say. But if they want to struggle with it, we're not going to get into that argument.
So here's the video. Can everyone see it? Yeah, okay.
About a spiritual revolution.
Who's speaking?
This is Bir Krishna. Can you hear the audio? Is it coming through? Share sound. Okay.
Yeah, but I just didn't know who it was.
It's Bir Krishna Goswami, the guru of North Carolina.
I know him better when he was a householder at Udorka. Bir Krishna married to Bir Mala.
Right, okay. This is just a 1 minute video and it's pretty entertaining, you know. So
go for it.
Things like that. We're talking about a spiritual revolution, a revolution in consciousness. And if we want to do that, we need an army of gurus. And that's why I have been fighting very ferociously, if that's a proper word, very enthusiastically, to allow more devotees to become gurus, especially our ladies in the Krishna consciousness movement. We need thousands of gurus, millions of gurus. We need local gurus, not some. Ultimately, we don't need so much gurus who are going to bounce from one part of the world to the other on the internet like I'm doing. So we need people locally who could train up their disciples in Krishna consciousness and not with an overinflated conception of themselves. Sorry. We need humble people. You know,
take the word guru out.
The spiritual father who trains the disciple.
What did you say, Narayan Prabhu?
Just take the word guru out and you have ISKCON the way Prabhupada designed it. Millions of people that are guiding people to Krishna consciousness in ISKCON.
Yeah. Why they want to have the word guru? Right?
Simply so that they will take on the bad karma of whoever they initiate.
Right. Just a few more seconds, and then we'll be done.
And Prabhupada is the Mahaguru. Sorry. Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of the Internet. Is the Mahaguru. Prabhupada is the Mahaguru. Sorry. Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of the Internet. Prabhupada is the Mahaguru. Sorry. Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And all of us, yes, we're actually gurus, but at the same time, We are representing Prabhupada. This is not Ritvik philosophy. We are representing Prabhupada. And actually, we have our own disciples. Yes. But we're all part of the same family. I wanted to emphasize and re-emphasize that point. So anyway, that was the first event.
That's pretty entertaining, huh?
I thought it was
I-
interesting how he said sorry after he said the Prabhupada's the Mahaguru.
Yeah, sorry.
Who was he apologizing to and why?
He's a guru. He can say anything he likes, and he can apologize and not
Oh,
apologize.
come on. Ramachandra, you're in charge here. You can't afford to be silly.
He's the Mahaguru. Sorry. Okay, so he's one of the supporters of the female Diksha Guru campaign.
Well, so what? I mean,
Yeah,
it depends what a guru is.
Yes.
Essentially, the two issues. Will the guru take you back to Godhead? Remember, Chidananda asked Bhagavan, how will I get back to God? Well, he's going and serving Bhagavan, takes initiation, saying he's my master, Lord and master. He's going to be my salvation, like as though you were a priest or something in the Catholic Church, and said, how am I going to get back to Godhead? And Bhagavan said, I will take you back to Godhead. Well, a few years later, a short time later, Bhagavan blooped and ran off with some women. So couldn't take himself back to Godhead. So that's one part of the guru system. The other part is attractive to the disciple is that he will be taken back to Godhead. We know that Lord Chaitanya gave the holy name as a Shakti Vishavatar. You utter that holy name once, you'll go back to Godhead before you're a devotee, before you even think of being a devotee. You can be a tree and you chant Hare Krishna to the tree, and the tree will go back to Godhead. It may take some time. He's got to wiggle his way into a human body at some point, but he's set. He's all set to go back to Godhead. So the other thing is taking on sins. I would say the biggest reason a person takes a guru is to take on sins. Now, is Mahaprabhu on or not?
Mahaprabhu is not on.
Okay, so if he were on, I would be asking him, in the Catholic Church, who takes on the sins of the person who is baptized? If you're baptized, you relinquish your sins. Who takes your sins? That's what they're looking for.
It's a deal. It's a deal they're
Yeah.
looking for.
Of course it's a deal they're looking for. Why should I keep my sins? I know what I've done. And if I do past life regressions, I will really freak out with what I've done. For what I did before that I'm having to pay off right now. It's like you get a bunch of stuff from Amazon and don't pay for it. And now you want someone to pick up the tab. So I get a guru. He takes up the karmic tab for the whole mess that I created for 1,000 lifetimes. That's why. I mean, is there any other reason why a person would take on a guru except that guru takes your sins?
No, because you've been already given the Maha Mantra and the mantra will deliver you. So what's the reason for that?
Right, exactly. So you're already delivered. So the only other thing that can happen besides I will take you back to Godhead, what Bhagavan said to Chidananda, is take on my sins so that I do not have to suffer my sins. Everybody who's done sinful things has to suffer the karmic reaction for their sins. Right?
Right.
And if they have enough sins, they go to the court of Yamaraj, right?
Right.
And Yamaraj drags them naked through a burning desert, being whipped by cows that they ate. The ghosts of cows that they ate in their lifetime. I mean, they have to suffer for their sins before they can even take another human birth. unless they're saintly, of course, because then they, Narayana do this, Yama do this, but Yama do this means you are caught and you pay for your sins. Anybody who walks through life knows that they may be the nicest looking guy in the world with the most pleasant smile and charming demeanor. Inside, he's saying, oh, what the hell is going to happen to me when I die? I have done this, that, the other thing. I have sinned. You get to say, I neglected to serve my father and mother. That's a sin. There's so many things you do. I ignored someone else's pain. That's a sin. All the things we go through life doing, naturally, most of it is a form of sin. Wouldn't you like it if somebody took those sins from you and all you had to do was chant Hare Krishna in exchange? What do you think?
Good deal. Why not?
Yeah, why not? So that's why they do it. So I think we should, when we're dealing with Basa Ghosh and others and this group, the ICC, we have to say it's really a question of taking on sins. The guru has to take on the sins. Oh, but he can transfer them to Krishna Loka. How? What is his connection with Krishna Loka? He's a Kanistha Adhikari.
No connection with Krishna Loka if they're
Right.
not Uttamadhikari.
Right. So Kanistha Adhikari, if you're Madhyam Adhikari, the last thing you want to do is take out of somebody else's sins because you're busy trying to get rid of your own sins so that you can enter your rasa with Krishna.
Yeah. Right.
The sin of following the four regulative principles, the sin of dressing in the morning and going to sleep at night, the sin of breathing, the sin of eating. Okay, but I'm breathing, I'm doing devotional service. Yes, that mitigates your sins. That doesn't eliminate them.
Yeah.
It reduces your sins. Everything we do in Krishna conscious reduces our sins.
Okay.
And, I'm not talking about people doing double dealing where a guy's a top pujari and he's also a scoundrel on the quiet, on the side. I'm talking about a sincere pujari who's doing very, very beautiful deity worship. His sin is simply stepping in the wrong way when he steps on the up to the altar,
Right.
There's a million ways that a high-level Kanistha Adhikari can sin. So doesn't he want someone to accept that sin?
Yeah.
So that's why he goes to the guru. Now, when it came to Prabhupada, Prabhupada had the connection to mitigate sins.
Okay. So if anyone has any questions, if they're watching online on Facebook and YouTube, they can post it in the message. So I'll be checking in a few minutes. See if there's any questions, comments. They can also join our WhatsApp group. We have it there in the link. And then you can get in contact with us anytime, any place. Okay.
So when we're dealing with this issue before the board, before the ICC, the big issue is not should men or women be gurus. The question is, who is going to accept the sins of the initiates? You see, I just went on a little trip describing sins and accepting sins and stuff like that. But if they want to be gurus, are they prepared to accept the sins? And are they prepared for the fact that the sins may not be passed directly to Krishna, because it states that you cannot make advancement if you're a Madhyam or a Kanistha Adhikari guru.
Insufficient guidance, yes.
Insufficient. So if it's insufficient, we can assume in the midst of that insufficiency is a lack of ability to deal with the sins.
Yes. It's not transparent. The Guru is not a transparent via medium.
Well, he doesn't have a rasa with Krishna.
Yeah.
It's the transparent via medium means he's in his rasa with Krishna.
Hmm.
Transparent means no wall. The Madhyamadikari is in, Prabhupada says, like a coconut loose inside a coconut shell. He's inside he's the coconut inside the coconut shell. He can rattle around, but he's surrounded by what? Look outside, see the sky, black. We're inside the material universe, right? That's why it's dark at night, because we're inside of an enclosed bubble that Brahma is in the middle of, that started out or entered into. So because of that, because you're in the bubble, you don't have access to Krishna. You do by prayer. We all have access to Krishna. Krishna is Paramatma. He is guiding us in everything we do, good, bad, or indifferent. Everything we do, he's guiding us. And, so when Krishna is guiding us from within, he always guides us from within. When Krishna is guiding us, we accept that that's my fate, my destiny. What Paramatma is doing is he's simply managing our karma. Whatever we've done, we either are suffering or enjoying. So supposing I have the occupation to slaughter animals, slaughter pigs or sheep. So then I say, I'm slaughtering these sheep, but I can't afford the meat to eat it myself. I'm making meat for others to eat, but I can't afford to buy it for myself. Is there some way? And so Paramatma says, if you're slaughtering a sheep, take the tail. Nobody wants the tail, and you can eat the meat of the tail. So Paramatma is showing us how to eat meat because we want to. You see? It's based on us, our desire. If I desire to eat meat, Paramatma will help us find it to eat. It's not that Paramatma is only there when we want to find Krishna. That's what I thought for decades. But it's not true. Paramatma guides us towards everything.
Try.
See, I have fruit flies that live in my garbage can in my kitchen. And I looked up fruit flies online, and all I could find is poisons to spray on them to kill them. I don't want to kill them. I want to feed them. So there they are. But if they don't have things set up in the garbage can to their liking, they go and wallpaper the entire inside of my house with fruit flies. Very annoying. So I go on with a broom and swat the walls and get them to leave. But if there's too many of them, they don't like going into the garbage container. Why? It's crowded. So they do what the Vikings did. They do what the Romans did. They do what the Greeks did. They did what everyone did. If it's too crowded and there's not enough to go around, you go out and find new territory and colonize it. That's what the Europeans did to America. Oh, here's some fresh land. Let's go and destroy it, kill it, turn it into concrete from beautiful sea to shining sheet, plains and mountains. Let's turn it into concrete and buildings. So that's what the fruit flies are doing. So when they get to a certain number, I bag them up. Even if the bag is not full, I put them in the trash where they can live happily ever after in a dump, garbage dump somewhere, where there's plenty for them to eat. And then I start again with a handful of them that manage to survive by throwing the other ones out in the garbage again. And I put things in for them to eat. Fruit peels. If there's nothing else, I pour some sort of syrup in or something for them to relish. And they stay there. And believe it or not, within a week or two, they've proliferated into hundreds.
So we got about 3 minutes, Prabhu.
Yes. But the point is, who's guiding them?
Paramatma is. Krishna is.
Yes, Paramatma. So who guides them out of the garbage pail, the basket? Paramatma tells them, go out and explore. Maybe you get another taste. So they get in the bathroom, they run a dive into the toilet bowl and eat urine and drown in urine. That's what they do. So my idea is, since I know that it's Paramatma guiding them, I try to create an atmosphere in which Paramatma will guide them into the garbage can where I have placed things for them to eat. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Certainly, in my point of view, it's better than killing them.
Yeah.
I can't kill them. And I don't want to live with them. So I give them a palace and they live in it.
So we got about 1 minute. So thank you, Prabhus. We didn't get far on our document that we wanted to read, but we'll continue that session on Saturday, reading that whole document. We'll dedicate the whole session to that document.
Do you think we should have just kept reading more, or that was okay the way it turned out?
We needed more time, and with that video I played, it kind of.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So
no, that was good. Bringing in that stuff, it gives us a sense of what it's really like.
Yeah, what they're dealing with, these so-called people.
But the way Bir Krishna was talking, with a slight adjustment in his language and outlook, he could have been horrific.
Yeah.
Meaning officiating acharya.
Yeah. No, Bir Krishna needs a beer mala.
Well, he renounced his beer mala. I don't know whatever happened to her. I never saw her again.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock.
Okay. Thank you very much for all the devotees for joining. We'll join us again on Saturday and Sunday, 8 p.m. We're going to have a treat for you.
And tomorrow's ISKCON.
Tomorrow's ISKCON? Let's see here on the calendar.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Putrada ISKCON.
Yeah. It's the 13th already of 2022. Wow.
My birthday.
There you go. One more step closer to death. So, Ramachandra, do you want to spend a little bit of time talking after the session, or are you busy?
No, I'll give you a call, Prabhu. Thank you to all the devotees for joining. We'll join us again on Saturday and Sunday, 8 p.m. If you want to join us, please click on the WhatsApp link in the description.
If anyone is still here, why not ask them?
Yeah, I'm here.
If they got anything out of this thing that we're working on.
We'll have a discussion on that document on Saturday. So Vinayak Prabhu, please join us, and anyone else who's watching. So. And
Vinayak, you have a clear platform of what to do to create bhakti yoga for yoga students.
Okay.
Right? Yes. And you're going to have them set up as rigid as hatha yogis, sitting on the floor in a lotus position with their fingers closed, or playing kartals, whatever. Have them be like yogis. This is yoga. And don't worry about books. The books are only to teach people to chant.
Okay, Prabhu, we'll end it here.
What it is. Bhakti yoga is yoga.
Yes.
So Vinayak Prabhu, join us on Saturday, and then you'll get to read some things we're working on, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for joining. All glory to
bring us up
Prabhupada.
to speed on your study of Prabhupada's yoga discipline, which nobody in ISKCON would even dream of doing.
Okay, try.
Yes.
And the way he does it is yoga. The way we do it is sort of the anti-yoga, the opposite of yoga.
Anti-yoga.
Well, yeah, because we don't want to surrender. If you chant the way Prabhupada did, you'd lose material desire. Meaning you would no longer want to control things. You don't want to be in charge of things. All you want to do is to surrender to Krishna. That is unacceptable to the leadership of ISKCON.
Understood.
Okay, I'm hitting the button. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.